we're going over the rules for the tournament today. All right, chat. The tournament, right, is a 2v2 strategic attack and defense mission. What do I mean by this? So you and your teammate are going to be either attacking to any bases like you would normally in a regular match, or if you are on the other side, defending those bases. So there are restrictions in a lot of senses in order to make sure this is not just a dogfighting scenario, right? This event is time-based. So this event's time-based, and we will specify... Why is my camera doing that? Let's first start with the attackers, right? With the attackers, right, you guys are supposed to be knocking out a base. You have to knock out one base and return back successfully without either of you dying. If either of you die, it's a time penalty of what we're assuming to be is around 1 to 2 minutes. You're supposed to complete this mission within the shortest time frame possible to have the win within the bracket. There will be 4 matches within these matchups. So you against another team, you guys will have 4 matches in total. 1 is attack, 2 is attackers, and 2 is defenders, in which both of you guys will swap every other round. With the attackers, you guys have a lot of limitations. You have to have a minimum bomb load on your plane for 2 pylons. Now we're adding some restrictions in terms of vehicles, which I'll make the list public on those. Cannot bring massive bomb loads. There's just like 5,000 pounds of bombs on one fucking pylon. Say, take the F-15 for example. You could bring 2 500-pounders in total, 1 on a single pylon. So 1 pylon on the right, 1 pylon on the left, each holding a single 500-pounder. And you can only carry IR missiles that are non-top tiers, meaning you could bring 9Ls, but nothing that follows the path of AIM-9Ms, AIM-7Ms, R-73s, R-24, R-27 ER-1s or whatever they are. No radar missiles to begin with. And we have some restrictions on vehicles, such as the F-14. You can only use the F-14 on defense. So, because the F-14...
minimum bomb load's too high.
And I'm adding this rule actually to incentivize the traveling of back and forth between bases. Only one of you will be allowed to carry bombs. The attackers also can't have a flight ceiling of 5,000 more or less, depending on the map's terrain and it's how high up you are in the mountains. We're gonna have a specific map pool set up for you guys too that you guys can pick from for your matches. Defenders will be the ones to pick the maps. Yeah, we're setting it on meters. It is 5,000 meters.
For combat.
When it comes to combat, like say you get intercepted by the defending team, you have a max altitude ceiling or max travel ceiling of 5,000. Once you are within, what was it, 15 kilometers?
Yes.
So you can only begin to strike within 15 kilometers of the base. It's more or less, we know we can't get you an official measurement, but once you're more or less within 15 kilometers of the base, once you're within bombing range of your target, you have to drop down to 800 meters within the terrain. So reference it. If it's like, say, the Pillars, where Pillars has mounted up bases really high, obviously 800 meters is probably going to be like floor to floor. You could give yourself some leeway, but you have to basically be riding the deck. Also, no ATGMs, no rockets, no missiles, no nothing, dumb bombs. You can only use dumb bombs. No TV-guided rockets.
Napalms.
Yeah, also, napalms are not allowed at either. Nothing that is not a dumb bomb, just a fucking stupid, simple bomb. That is the only thing you can use. What else?
Does that include glide bombs?
What there's no glide bombs in this game.
No. Retard bombs. Yes.
Oh yeah, well, no, you can't use glide bombs in either, because that also gives you no GPUs, no nothing. A stupid bomb, just imagine it's from World War II. It's a stupid fucking bomb. No glide bomb, no nothing.
Regular snake eye.
Yeah, regular fucking snake eye. A regular bomb. No TV, no nothing. No, hey, shut the fuck up. No, absolutely nothing, no tech on it. It's just a bomb. No laser, no nothing. Just a bomb. So bring all TV guided bombs. Exactly. This motherfucker. You are being timed from the moment you get within range of the bombing area. So say on your first takeoff, you have to take off and fly towards an enemy base. You get to pick which one. the defenders have to figure out where you're coming. The defenders can use max radar distance, or well, we're limiting it to 37 kilometer radar distance. Yeah, so you can't go past 40 kilometers with your radar. If it has anything beneath that, use it, but you can't go past 40 kilometers with your radar. 37, 32, whatever the standards are depending on your radar. The defenders can use 32 to 37 distant kilometer radars, while the attackers can only use 9 kilometer distance radars, because the aardvark, we have restrictions on the aardvark. You actually can't use it.
Aardvark's not allowed.
Yeah, we have you can't bring the aardvark. It has no minimum bomb load that allows you to fucking just have to make trips.
So like he was mentioning, the attackers have any choice. This also goes from any direction. Just because you got off your base does not mean you can't attack from the enemy base side. Their 15-kilometer range is basically a circle. So that way you can pick at what point and at what time you want to start the attack, which is basically what he's trying to say. Your time starts once you get in that 50-kilometer range.
Yeah.
You have time to pick out and strategize. This is the whole point of this game, is to strategize.
Yeah, like he said, there's kind of like a radius. Once we see that you entered the 15-kilometer range, your time begins, and it doesn't stop just because you leave it. It begins and it counts as the very beginning of the encounter. What's up?
The minimum flight level, does it start when you get in the 15-kilometer radius?
No. Once you're ready to so you know when your bombing like crosshair comes into play and you're ready to knock out your target. Once you're ready to knock out your target, that's when you have to drop to the deck, basically.
Okay, so there's no minimum or maximum until you get into that.
Yeah, until you're into your bombing range, you have to hit the deck. I still need confirmation on the Frogfoot. So here's the thing. We're gonna have to go through exactly on certain vehicles on what we're gonna ban and not ban, because CAS vehicles don't have really a minimum bomb loadout that prevents them from having to make the trip. But those CAS vehicles also are extremely slow. Say you bring the A10, the Frogfoot, they're slow. So I'm willing to make an exception of sorts, but I'm gonna have to take a look at them. I'll confirm that or not later into the server. Also, not to mention, we're gonna make you guys report to us every round, like your matchups. You'll have to use the vehicles you reported in, right? Say you got one of you guys elevate into the next match. You guys are gonna either be able to change or keep the same vehicles, but we're going to be telling you what your loadout is. That's one thing we have to tell you. If you're an attacker, we're telling you what your loadout is. Yeah, your classes will be pre-built. We're telling you what you can use. The missiles, as long as they're not anything above like fucking R73s, AIM-9Ms, and all that shit, that's fine. That's up to you. That's up to your discretion for the most part. So after you drop your bombs, you're limited to that high. Oh, no, you're not limited. So here's the thing. You're more than likely going to get intercepted, right? Once you're at that altitude, because now they're pushing down on you, they know where you are. You're more than welcome to climb after that. But remember, you have the 5,000 meter combat ceiling. While technically the defenders are unlimited in terms of their altitude, it doesn't serve them any benefit to be really high if they see you bombing. So the defenders can be as high as they want for the most part, but there's no reason for them to do that because they're trying to intercept you.
The thing that we forgot to mention though is you have to take out the base and make it back alive.
Oh yeah.
Just because you took out that base, that's a good for you, man. Get back now.
So also, not to mention, like I said, your time starts once you're within the radius of those 15 kilometers of the base. Once you're there, your time starts and we will be keeping track of it. Your time ends when you and your teammate make it back. Now the penalties, say a teammate of yours gets downed, that is 2-minute penalty added on top of your final time. Do defenders have to stick together or no? They don't have to. It is recommended. Just because
preferred.
It makes sense. No, it makes sense for them to split because they're trying to like cover a bunch of bases. Attackers though have to remain like we're not giving you guys a hard fucking like range, but try to remain near each other within preferably 5
strong, but you need to be a little
within 5 kilometers basically of your teammate. That's not like, oh, if you break that you're DQ'd. No, but like the whole point of this is that you're playing with your teammate. One is running with bombs, so they're gonna be slower and harder to turn, and one other person is basically the guidance pilot. So you're the person that's going to be kind of fighting for them. Again, these aren't necessarily rules. These are more recommendations in terms of engagement. Rules of engagement, put it like that. They're not set in stone, but you very much can, you know, like we appreciate it if you stick to it because then it makes the fights more interesting for us to watch and you guys to even interact with. So penalties will consist of one, if your teammate dies, that is 2 minutes. Not to mention, defenders, if they are down, can respawn with a 30-second timer. If attackers die, it is GG's for that round. You lose for that round. You cannot respawn. It's a one attempt to knock out that base as you're making trips back and forth.
to get into more of that, that's not GG's like you lost. That's just GG's that
Yeah,
your
for that-
teammate's dead.
Yeah, for your teammates dead. So then if both of you are dead, you're GG'd for that round.
What if the defenders like go straight off of our airfield?
Oh yeah, you can't airbase
They
camp.
can't airfield like that.
Yeah, we
haven't
we've
gotten to the defenders part.
Yeah, we
yet
ha- yeah,
on
we'll-
that. That's
we'll-
a part of it though.
Yeah, we'll get into the defenders rules and all that after we're done with the attackers. These are all the attackers restrictions for the most part. If you kill a defender as an attacker, you get to shave off 2 minutes from your time. If you kill both of them, that's already 4 minutes shaved off. That's a ton of time saved. But remember,
You
they have
so
30
much
seconds.
time and less stress on your shoulders.
Exactly. But mind you, there's a 30-second delay in which the defenders can respawn. So within that time, the attackers can either choose. So it's a modified time trial. For the most part, yeah, it's a modified time trial. Say the teammate who is designated to bomb dies, you can RTB and equip a bomb loadout, and will allow you to break the bomb loadout just because it's going to be you alone. So you can bring, say your teammate who is the designated bomber, quote unquote, dies, and you now have to bomb. We will allow you to bring heavy bombs, not any special weapons munitions, heavy bombs. You can bring a max loadout if you please. But then again, remember, you're now having to accompany for the fact that you have fuel. You have to make sure you're counting for your fuel to make sure you're fast enough. You have to make sure you're nimble enough to turn. If you're fast enough to even get away. So keep that in mind. If your teammate who is the bomber is the designated bomber dies, you can break the bomb cap. You don't need to use the minimum bomb loadout. So you can knock it out in your next run. It's
But you
kind of
still
like
have to
a
have dummies though.
Exactly. They have to be dummy rounds. They can't be like ATGMs, missiles, nothing. Are they allowed? We aren't going to be allowing bombers to, well, okay, I'm not going to give a definite yet on that. So I'm not going to give a definite on the bombers yet. I'm going to look at the bombers and what most likely might come through. If not, we'll just ban all bombers to make it like fighter or strike craft. But even then, some strike craft will have to be banned. And also, we're going to be taking into effect what people have reported with the Google Forms, which is why we're asking you, if you guys are watching this and haven't done it, please fill out the Google form. It's in my server, !Discord, if you're not in the server yet, because that gives us a lot of information and what we can work with, please. So please fill that shit out.
We can put
Pin
this
it up,
together
it is
so
out, pin it
much
up.
faster if you guys just fill it out.
Yeah, if you fill that out, it makes it a lot easier for us, makes it a lot easier for you. It'll be a lot more fun, and we can balance it appropriately. Neither team can airfield camp, and that's not like ringing you around or loitering. No, you can't loiter. You can't try to hoard them into the airfield. Airfield camping,
You're wasting your own time if you want to loiter.
Yeah, remember, as the attackers, you guys want the least amount of time possible. Your objective is the least amount of time knocking out that base and making it back with both of you alive. That's your objective. Knock out the base and get back home, both of you alive, as quick as you can. So here's the thing. R27s, R27s are radar or heat based?
Pretty positive they're heat.
Okay, they're both.
They're radar. They're both. Yeah.
Oh, they're both? Okay. So, fuck. Okay, look, fuck. Okay. The Sukhoi 27 is giving us issues on how to balance it. We're not allowing R73s, any 9Ms. Any radar missiles are not allowed. ET is IR, but it's absolutely broken.
Also,
2
magic
IR
cubes is
missiles
gonna be a thing.
across the board.
Defenders is a lot shorter, so this is gonna be a lot quicker than the attackers. Sorry for anyone who gets attackers first. So prior to offense, the defense is different. You're going to have
Gotcha.
a 7-kilometer range of the base of what you're going to start at. Doing this is making it so you guys can't goose guard right on top of it. We need to have you a little bit of range because remember, this is kind of like a patrol shit. So you need to be at least of a distance prior to attack. So that's that rule.
I'm
It's a
back.
7-kilometer, unlike the attackers at a 15-kilometer range. So at least you guys are in that mid part. We're not trying to kill you, but we have to make it even. So that's that part of it all. Like he said, when you die, it is a 30-second delay. You're going to be down, and it's also a dead man comms. You can't call out what killed you. You can't say where he came from. You're dead for 30 seconds. Do not talk. If
Yeah.
you talk, we will add a 10-second add-on to what time you're waiting for. I understand sometimes it's a reaction, but you have to realize that you're messing up a 2-team battle. So there was that.
I will be better as an attack, and the radar is not broken. The 16C radar is better. Yeah, look. Here's the thing. Remember, you are only restricted as an attacker to 9-kilometer range as your radar, or the shortest possible range on your radar if you are an attacker. The shortest possible range on your radar is the only thing that will be allowed if you are an attacker.
Hang on. On game day, are we going to be in separate VCs?
Yes, you guys will be in separate VCs, and we'll have people like in there with you to make sure if there's anything that you guys need help with, you can ask them and they'll know what to do, or they can just ask us and we'll tell them what's up, because we're also going to be spectating yours. So I'm going to be referee viewing your guys' matches. So in that case, you guys can't fucking stream snipe because it's going to be fucking cringe. This is an incentive. Oh, this is an incentive sheet. I have already every single one of you who applied through that form's IP logs and emails. Let's do this shit. Either way.
That's crazy.
You guys have to have a buddy system. You don't have to be too close to each other. You guys have a little bit of a leeway. But remember, this is a formation 2v2 type battle. Can't be saying, I'm going to go 10 kilometers that way and you go 10 kilometers this way. That's, again, not really favored here. So that's that when it comes to distance. Same thing as attackers that he went over. You cannot radar select. You cannot use TWS. You cannot lock on. You have to stick to normal modes. Just, again, you have to give the attacker somewhat of a chance. They're going to you. You're not going to them. And what we are going over now is the base camping. If an attacker goes down and you know that they're either A, dead, and that guy has to get back, or B, someone is going to restock, you cannot chase them. You cannot hover over. You can't tell me and Swoosh that I'm 30 kilometers over their base. I'm not really near him. You're not doing that. End of story. There's going to be, we'll have to go over Swoosh with this, but either a 15 to 30 kilometer safe bar of not being near that.
No, what we'll do is instead of doing it by distance, you have to, you know how like the map has cubes? Depending on the map pool we'll give them, you'll have to have a minimum amount of clicks away from that fucking
grid squares?
Yeah.
That's smart.
Also, Indo, on what you're asking on pincering. So you can pincer, but mind you, it cannot be from a stupid fucking distance. You guys are only guarding the bases. There's no reason for, we're gonna set another distance with those grid squares. For the most part, you can't go this far away from your bases. If not, you know, it's kind of bullshit. You're defending the bases. That's all you're defending. Yes, you can have a little bit of leeway in front of it, but you're not setting yourself up to just fucking come from God knows fucking where and have your teammate come from God knows fucking where. Because also remember, these motherfuckers are bombing really low. All right, go on.
If you want to be 30 kilometers away from the base, yeah, do you, man. Good luck catching them.
And remember, these motherfuckers just gotta get in there and bomb it.
If you want to be in this fucking ceiling, you go for it too.
Yeah, Indo, you could circle your bases. Yeah, Indo, you can circle your bases. And also, quick little thing.
You can fake out.
Yes, you can fake out. So by this, say you hit one base already, right? And you go resupply, you run away, take off and all that, right? And you're on the way back, and they're probably gonna think, just because they hit that base doesn't mean you have to hit the same base you just hit. You can hit another base, but remember, you are being timed. So you want to make this quick, but also at the same time, you don't want to fucking die. Because if either of you die, not only are you guys getting a penalty time, you guys are also elongating how long the mission will be. So choose your strategy wisely.
The attackers just have to tell the official which one they're going for. So
Yeah.
there's no, well, we got that one half just for a fake.
Yeah.
No, we will know what base you're going for,
Yeah.
just
no,
not the defenders.
exactly. As
And
the
to go
official
back on the TWS thing, it's for F-14 defenders, because F-14's other radars, F-4S's even, they can have you pinged on TWS for the entire match.
Yeah.
You basically can't do anything because they're watching you on a string.
Are we gonna have like practice matches or like training matches before the tournament?
We can definitely do that, because again, the tournament's not made at a certain date right now. I just know somewhat of a day. So gladly we can do that, because again, we're waiting to see how many teams go out, see when it dies out. I get a lot of your questions on who's formed. So if you guys want to do practice runs, just ask Swoosh or someone, or if you guys want to do it on our free time, we're normally all on Discord, and we're all playing this game by ourselves. There's no reason why none of us can't just go into a custom. Endo will probably make his own anyways, if you guys even want to talk to him. So I have nothing against practicing. If you do have a airfield like Endo is stating, and you do not get the repair and it counts it as a crash, we'll probably have a reattempt.
Alright, so
Even if it is, you're about to finish the base off, we'll probably have to do a reattempt, because that's unfair towards the attackers.
the maps, we have to test maps, don't we? Because we need to see what maps
Certain
can be
maps are
used.
going to be looked at right now. Swoosh is doing a lot with that, like the pillars we were looking at with this whole altitude thing. So once we get through the maps and everything, we'll figure that out too. Certain maps we won't do. We're gonna try and keep it a small number of maps where maybe, say you guys do win around here and there, you guys might have pickings. You got any other questions for me, Lester?
I wanna die.
I can't have you do that. You'll be disqualified.